Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to get started on the Iron Man Medicom Classic, the Model 4 armor. Now, I made the mistake of believing this is the Model 3, but the Model 3 is the nose armor. And actually, these nodes here are actually on the bottom. So this is actually the Model 4 from the comics, which is pretty cool. I made a mistake, and I want to previously point that out. I think I talked about it in someone's comment section. So I apologize to them because it is the Model 4. So my bad for getting that wrong. But yeah, here, kicked over. So here we are with this Iron Man. You've seen people review it before me. Mine is going to be no different. We're going to talk about what it can do, what it can't do, gripes, whatever it is going to be to it. Now, my issue, I think that I have personally, is that I feel like the neck is accurate, but it's too short for the things that I want to do for Iron Man. And we'll talk about that as soon as we get the articulation. Now, look-wise, I do love it. It's red, it's gold, it's the golden armor. It's, you know, obviously this is yellow, but it's meant to be gold, you know what I mean, comic-wise. But I really do like the variation that they put on this, the little spin, because the little adds to articulation kind of blend in really well. Because look at that. Like, you wouldn't notice that, like, right out the gate, but it adds a lot to its articulation. We have the way it's nosed, bottle nosed, so that way we have a nice dip for articulation, right? So that way when we want to do certain poses, ooh, mine's is still very tight, we actually can get it really nicely. So I do like the way this goes. So articulation wise, I'm very happy with this Iron Man. I am. I just feel like it would have been better to be able to get that head to do certain poses. Now, let's talk about that. So in our full articulation, and I'm definitely gonna have to hit that with some shock oil. Our head can go up for flight poses, but as you can see, it looks stiff and low. I don't know if you guys are getting all of that, but it looks stiff and low. Now, you can actually pop that out, and when we pop it over, you see it has its angled look that Mafex always has to have complete articulation. As you can see, I popped it back on. Looking down is a problem because of the way our mask design is, but looking up for flight poses, it's not too terrible. But when you add that into the short neck area here, it kind of prevents him from being able to look down. Even if you place the head forward, then you run the risk of your mask coming out of its faceplate. So that's something that bothers me, but I don't think it's a major gripe. But I wanted to point that out in case anybody was wondering about that. Now, here with our arm articulation, as you saw earlier, we can hit our T-pose. Our T-pose is going to hit a little bit lower based on our shoulder design here, but we have a beautiful butterfly joint in the armor, as you can see here, right? Put these back. You do get bicep swivel, and you are double jointed, but your gauntlets are going to get in the way, which prevent you from really getting crazy poses. But it's Iron Man, so I don't expect you to get super crazy poses. He is a dude in armor who talks about restrictions all the time until he makes later models, right? As far as dipping off side to side with our ab crunch, I think that actually is really, really good, right? Our legs have the drop down method. I'm not going to use this leg because mine is really tight and I want to prevent that from, doing this thing. I'm going to hit it with some shock oil later. We have a thigh swivel. We have our side nodes, which you shoot missiles in the comics, micro missiles. These lift up on the side. We can hit that 90-degree ankle with the drop down, right? We are double jointed. Again, those gauntlets, the boot gauntlets will get in the way. We have super generous ankle pivot, as you can see here. So you'll definitely be able to hit wide leg poses with no problem. You'll be able to turn as well. And then you can have Iron Man square up with Cap. So that way, you can have your classic battles like you always did. So, like I said, he can move very, very well. So I don't think there's any issue there, right? It's just going to be basically our head being able to look down and up. It's going to be your biggest issue depending on what you do. Now, as far as articulation goes, overall, I'm very happy with it. So let's move this guy back very quickly, and we're going to get set up to talking about the accessories. So let's get started. I'll see you guys in a second. Now, we're going to talk about the accessories, like I said, literally a second before. First things first, we're going to go over our hands, and one of the hands that we get are going to be our repulsor ray hands. I'm going to talk about these first. These have nodes and attachments for our repulsor and flight blast. You can see they plug right in. So you can have them for flight or repulsor shots. Either way, have fun, do what you want. You know what it is. You do get 2 repulsor rays. So don't think I forgot. You do get 2 of them. Just in case you were wondering, right? Then I'm going to talk about our roller skate feet, which I thought were pretty funny that they decided to add these. They're going to add the roller skate feet. The wheels do not move, unfortunately. I would have loved if they did, but they don't. So these are definitely for those of you who read the comics and like that silliness, right? That go-go skating look. Then we have some open action hands. These can be ready to shoot repulsor blasts, have them in hand, get ready for repulsor ray poster shots, things like that. You have open flight hands. You have open action hands. These can be used as wide gripping hands. Again, to look really cool. Some demon in a bottle poses. You know. You have some more relaxed fit action hands. And then you have hands for holding the proton cannon. Now I'm going to leave these here for when we get ready to talk about the proton cannon, because there's a way that you go about doing it. Again, you've probably watched other people's reviews, so I get it. And then we have an unmasked Tony head. This is definitely a more classic style Tony. We have our 70s stash. We have our 70s look. I really like the way the hair is sculpted. We have a base neck too to show you what it's like with that neck under there. So yeah, you actually get a lot of articulation and movement. I do wish though, I'm not even going to front, I really would have loved if they would have included a Rhodey head. Because we all know for a time being that Rhodey wore the armor as well, right before he went on to become the War Machine. And then you will have Foot Blast as well. And these plug in a certain way, so that way you plug in directly from the pegs at the bottom of the feet to match that of the front ones. And voila, there you have it. Right? These plug into both, and they plug in really snug, so just be careful when taking them out. Stand, buddy. There you go. And then you will also, let's pop this off actually, because now we're going to talk about our last accessory before the proton cannon, is going to be our faceplate change. So as you can see, with focus helping, you actually have human eyes on under there. What you can do is remove the faceplate, and there's an optional plate to put the black eyes under, in case you don't want to do that. Actually, I have that upside down. It's so tiny, I don't want to lose it. Please don't drop. Please, for the sake of baby Jesus, don't. And then we have an alternate faceplate, which technically helps you create the Model 3, which is called the nose armor. And as you can see, it has a little nose, because on the other plate here, you do not have that. So technically you could create the Model 3 and the Model 4, because the Model 3 is called the nose armor. And it's pretty cool. Like I said, I do like that was included. Maybe if we had got another chest piece to really make it accurate, that would have been dope. But I don't mind it at all. I just like that a bunch of this stuff was actually included. I think that's really the fun of it, especially because it rewards both comic fans and non-comic fans alike. And I think stuff like that is always like a nice addition. I think as fans, we may have gotten a little too spoiled, and I think that's great that we've gotten spoiled. But we should also recognize when people are like putting in the effort to include some fun stuff for those, you know, who have been here a while. Or even just, you know what, that's wrong. I like that they're including it for both old and new, because what it does is it actually creates a way for new people to jump in and go back and try to read that classic stuff, which I'm always here for. I like that people get into really old comics. I do. I really do. And I wish more people did that. So if you're taking a chance and you're reading or listening to me or doing whatever it is that you have my voice in the background, take some time and go read some old comic books. Trust me, you won't regret it. You won't. But before we do anything else, let's talk about the big elephant in the room, the proton cannon. This thing is nice. It is massive. I personally, they don't need to add this, but I really do like that they did. Right? I do. We have portholes here. Actually, let's see something. Let's see if these... Oop, I have those repulsor ray hands. And I believe somebody pointed out that you can actually use Marvel Legends pieces in here. I'm going to have to try that. I don't have any around with me, but I'm definitely going to try that. So I believe we have our handle here, and we actually get to remove this piece here first. You wiggle that out, and then you wiggle down and tab out here. And with that being said, what you do is you will take one of these hands and you will slide it down on whichever hand you want to do the proton cannon for, and then you slap this bad boy back up, tab it in, and you tab this piece back in, and then you have a hand holding the proton cannon. I'm not going to put it on now because I want to get some stuff done later and I don't want to forget where the hands are. But yeah, I like the way this is painted as well too. It's definitely painted in like the brand new Bob Lyle colors. Like, ooh, oh no, was it Bob Lyle? Alright, I may be wrong. It may not have been Bob Lyle. But I do remember someone doing luscious colors back then on comics. So don't quote me on that one, but I'm gonna try to remember it. But yeah, this is really, really nice. And by the way, he technically can hold the weight of it, but if your arms get wiggly after time, there is a stand, which I don't have the tray here, and I apologize for that, so I'll try to include it in the photos. But yeah, there's a tray for this stand as well, just like there's an actual stand for the Iron Man itself. So yes, really cool stuff. With all of that being said though, now what we're going to do is jump into the size comparisons. I'm going to go find a bunch of Iron Man toys that I have, and this will give me a chance to really do some old school cool stuff. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited. So I will see you guys in a bit, and see you soon. Alright guys, now we're going to jump into the size comparisons. So let's get to it. There is a lot to compare to, mostly Marvel Legends, because I know a lot of people are going to want to know how their Iron Man looks with the largest variety you get, and that's with Legends. So it'll be mostly Legends here. I guess we'll knock the big three out. So here is Marvel Legends Thor, and I pulled out their classic iterations so you can see what these guys look like with each other, and I think it actually sizes out pretty well, right? So there we are with Thor, and I just had Captain America. Now I don't know where he went. Oh, here he is hiding under Doctor Strange. We'll add him in later. Here we are with Captain America, whose feet will not sit flat for some reason. So let's adjust it ever so gently. So as you can see, he scales out pretty well with Legends. Not too tall, not too small. I do believe Iron Man in the comics is seen as a generally tall dude, like 6 something. I'm not sure if it's 6'3" or 6'4", but he's a tall dude. So in the armor, it makes him like 7 feet tall. Cap is a superhuman, and Thor is a god. So him looking small next to these guys, I get it. You know what I mean? So here we are with these guys, and I think it is a pretty solid look amongst these three. He fits in really well with the aesthetic of Legends so far. So here we are with those classic big three. Next up, we will do, Mustache Bros. I did mention him earlier. Here we are with a classic Doctor Strange. We have a cape by 112 Props and Rioteer. If I am mispronouncing that, please let me know. Right? So here we are with Doc Strange, looking really solid there. Again, that classic vibe is definitely working here. And then I also wanted to compare him to a Marvel Legends similar model Mach 4, who I didn't choose the AI color version, mostly because I couldn't find it, but I wanted to show you all that bottlenose right here that they both have, and I like that it's both there. I like that one is like the matte comic color, and one is like what it should be if you were supposed to be the red and gold Avenger. So I do like both iterations of these. It's really nice. Let's remove this guy. Next up, we're going to do my main man, War Machine. Like, this is a must. Obviously, it's a little out of style because the modular armor came in around this time. But I do enjoy the fact that we have options here. So here we are with War Machine. Let me actually turn him ever so gently. All right. Then we have stuff like Marvel Legends Spy Master, which I enjoy Spy Master, especially during the Matt Fraction run. There was a lot of like cool business warfare stuff. I don't know if you guys have read the Matt Fraction run, but I thoroughly enjoyed that run with Salvador LaRocca on the art. Here we are with Grey Gargoyle. We're bringing out the villains now, right? Looking pretty cool. A little bit bigger, but I do like that they can square up pretty well. Next up, we have Controller. I like that. If you haven't done any of the Armor Wars or read any Armor Wars, I highly suggest it. Here we are with a Marvel Legends Hulk. Again, showing that variety in sizes. Let's get these guys out. I gotta find my Ironmonger, because that's a must too. Ooh, before I forget, because this big guy is laying here. The Titanium Man. This is perfect for the Mafex Iron Man, in my opinion. The size, the quality, like, it shows you that you can mix and match lines all the time, and it works perfectly fine. A gigantic Titanium Man against a Mafex Iron Man. absolutely perfect in my opinion. Shout out to Unparalleled Universe for reviewing Titanium Man. He's the one who got me to buy it ages ago. Next up, we have G.I. Joe Snake Eyes. I chose the Commando one. Again, I be having these guys posed up, so please excuse them. The ankles and everything looking crazy. Here we are with an articulated icons, Evil Sensei Itami. Alright, so as you see, Iron Man is bigger than these guys. Next up, we can do a Mythic Legions. Here we are with the Headless Horseman with head. Right? And I think that about rounds out everybody that I can think of right now, with the exception of Medicom. And I'm trying to find him now, but I have literally a gigantic slew of characters here. And I actually found him just in time. So here we are with Medicom, looking pretty cool next to Iron Man. And I think that about rounds it out. Again, as always, I want to thank you guys because it has been a lot going on at once. So I'm trying to get out videos when I can. The Iron Man one is obviously delayed. I also didn't put any cats in this video or a Zengi, so I'm going to add them here at the end because we like having our good luck, right? We always like to add them in. For real, I really do want to say thank you. It has been a tremendous help with people out there sharing my work, showing it off to new people. It does mean a lot. Try to visit the website too if you just like looking at pretty pictures. It does make a difference. It matters, for real. Last but not least, SH Fig Arts Kamen Rider Kuga, because I forgot to throw him in before, and the SHF Model Mark IV, because we're going to have a little bit of fun, right? But again, guys, thank you so much for everything. You've been kind to me, so putting out videos is the very least that I can do. And as always, please, be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later.